Hello, community, and welcome. This is Kira. Quick introduction. I'm a lawyer, a criminologist, a counselor, and a social worker. So, what we do here is we try as much as possible to inspire, motivate, and strive towards being the best that we can be. Today, we'll be reading some inspirational writings and maybe discuss some issues, after the reading. So today's topic, I think we're going to look at drugs and the impact of drugs in society, impact of drugs on the family, impact of drug on the drug abuser, and how it becomes addictive and it could become generational also. So I try to put this in inspirational writing form, and let's see how it goes. So also, amongst Americans between the ages of 12 and older, 12 and above, we have at least 37 million people who are currently using drugs. I mean, that's a lot. And this is as of, this data is as of a couple of years ago. We have over 50 million people that are 12 and over that have admitted that they have tried illicit drugs in their lifetime. So that's a lot also. And then we have accidental overdose is a leading cause of death amongst people under the age of 45. So we have a lot of deaths for people under the age of 45 that if they were not using drugs would probably still be alive today. So over 70,000 drug overdose deaths occur in the United States annually. And now let's look at Nigeria. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, in 2018, the prevalence of any drug use in Nigeria was estimated to be about 14.3 million people between the ages of 15 years old and 64 years old. And the extent of drug use in Nigeria is comparatively high when compared to 2016 global annual prevalence of drug use, which was 5.6% amongst adult population. So that's really high. So we know that drug affects family members and families in so many ways. It affects the children of the drug abuser. It affects the parents of the drug abuser. It affects the partners of the drug abuser. It affects the grandparents because and in a lot of situations the grandparents will now have to step into the shoes of the parents because the parents are incapable because of drug use. They're incapable of caring for their children, so it affects the grandparents also. And definitely, of course, as we know, it definitely affects the drug users. So this is a serious problem, and I hope this inspirational writing would at least drive home some points to whoever reads it, and it may actually help one of the victims of this situation. It may help the family, it may help the children, it may help the drug abuser, it may help the grandparent, it may help the partner, it may help whoever is concerned, even the community. So we go. Drugs: crack, methamphetamine, marijuana, cocaine, heroin. These drugs are taking over the world. These addictive tranquilizers that numb the pain for the users and bring much gain to the dealers. Drugs, they know no bounds and affect the poor, the rich, and those in between. They affect men, women, children, and people of all social strata. Users get an inexplicable high, a high that causes them to lose all rational thinking and to lose total control. Users will steal, lie, maim, kill, and do whatever it takes when the urge takes over their dependent bodies and souls. Drugs, they mess you up in so many ways that you cannot even explain. You lose your family, you lose your friends, and all meaningful things in your life. I see a beautiful young girl, aged 14, maybe 15, hanging around the street corner, ready to do what it takes to get her fix. I wonder to myself, where are her parents? This beautiful girl, she has so much potential. Doesn't anyone love or miss her? I wonder. Her appetite, her insatiable appetite for this thing called drugs. She looks insane and is obviously deranged. She approaches me and says to me, "Ma'am, can you spare a penny? I need to eat." I see the desperate look in her eyes, the look of helplessness and hopelessness, the look in those eyes. This poor girl needs to go to rehab where she may get the help that she so desperately needs. I take her to a fast food joint just across the corner to get her a burger. I ask her about her life. Where are your parents? And what led you to this life? She tells me her mother's lover introduced her to her love of drugs, which became her vice. She cannot resist this love and has always known this lover. This lover she calls crack, methamphetamine, marijuana, cocaine, heroin. She met this lover while traveling through her mother's vessel. She met this lover during her journey to this place called the world. She tells me that she has always known this lover. She was born with the love of drugs because she was a drug addicted baby. She was a crack baby, a methamphetamine baby, a marijuana baby, a cocaine baby, a heroin baby. This beautiful young girl has always known her lover. And yes, you just guessed right. She's bringing another through her vessel at a tender age of 14 or maybe 15. Drugs, they mess you up in so many ways that you can't even explain. So that's the poem on drugs. And, like I explained earlier, we gave some statistics about drug use. And this also shows that the poem shows that drug can be generational. Like this young girl, aged between 14 and 15, was born with drug addiction. She was a drug baby. Her mother was on drugs when she was pregnant with her, and she was born with drugs. And she has always, known drugs. And now she's pregnant, she's still using drugs, and she's going to bring another through her vessel. And that baby would also be addicted to drugs. So we need to really, really address this killer drug. We need to address it, and we need to find ways to stop the addiction and stop the mutilation and killing of innocent beings. So some of the ways that drugs can affect family members or loved ones include the fact that the children of the drug addicted parent or parents don't have a healthy upbringing. They usually, if they're in that environment, they grow up surrounded by drugs. They are usually neglected. They are usually abused emotionally, physically, and in many other ways. It can also have a negative effect on the education of the drug abuser, him or herself. Like this young girl, she's only 14. She's already pregnant with a drug addicted baby. And obviously she's not in school. She's not in a trade school. She's not in normal formal education. And all she wants to do is survive to get her fix. The drug use in the family could also affect the innocent children, children of the drug user. It would affect them socially, psychologically, and many other ways. Drug use can also affect the self-esteem and self-worth of the victim. They really have so low self-esteem, and they need to be in counseling, and they need to they need some therapy to help them deal with this drug addiction. They can also be isolated and lonely, and then delve more and further get deeper into drug use. A lot of them will be on the streets, waiting and trying to get their next fix, and they would steal, and they would kill, and they will maim, to get money to actually get their fix. So this is a really, really big problem in society. it's, getting louder and, becoming a much bigger problem, and we need to actually, look at means and how we can ensure that, the utilization of drugs is really curbed. Yeah, like I said, it affects all family members. So until next time, community, be kind to each other, be mindful, and be intentional. Thank you.